Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to this week's SNL.
Yeah. I need some applause, please. On the front, it says Pastor Carson.
Come on.
Or I think potential church. King Kong versus Godzilla.
That is incorrect.
Titanic.
Oh, let's see. It is, in fact,
Correct. So if you'd like to be involved in the show, whether that's running a camera or the technical stuff, or if you just want to be in the studio audience, this means technical stuff.
Yeah.
Right here, technical stuff. You guys are producers. You know we're giving away a prize, and we don't have a drum roll?
I mean, we have.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah. Can you put me in my ears here? It is
Yes,
so
sir.
good to see. There we go. That's a little loud, but
Oh,
that's
all right.
There we go. We are glad you guys are here, and welcome to Sunday Night Live.
Come on.
Yeah. Hey, and we've got our producers, the Blonde Bombers, are back in
Come
the
on.
house.
Come on. The Blonde Bombers.
So you want to tell everybody why you have blonde hair? Is it because it
Camp.
looks good or new style? You know, are you trying to look like your dad?
It started because of camp.
Yeah.
It's
Now.
continued
we look
because
good.
yeah, we're into it. So
That's awesome.
yes.
So you're going to keep it?
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future. Yeah. It's a lot of upkeep, so we shall see how long this actually lasts for. But
All right.
but yeah.
What do y'all think in the chat? Should they keep the blonde in their hair, or should they go back to their natural color? What do y'all think? All right. And anyways, I got to get a haircut. Look how long my hair
Oh,
is.
hey.
It's kind of wild.
You look good with the hat.
You know what? I might just leave it long. I bet my hair is the longest it's been in the last 24 years.
I buzzed my hair. You should grow yours out.
You grew yours out way long.
I did.
You look like Jesus.
Come on.
But did anybody ever call you Jesus?
Yes.
Did they? Because of the way you act or the way you looked?
The way I looked.
What'd your wife call you?
Huh?
What'd your wife call you?
My name? Nick.
Oh, okay. All right, we are in the middle Olympics. Do we know the medal count?
Yes.
What is it?
For what? For gold?
Overall, yeah. Who's got the most gold medals?
United States.
The United
Tied
States.
with China, though, to 19, but I believe in the United States.
You believe the United States? All right. Let's give it up for the United States.
Amen. Amen.
Come on.
Did you guys see the golf gold that was won? Was that one today?
Yes.
The golf gold. What about the basketball team? They're undefeated, right? Both of them?
Doing good.
I think so.
The women and the men. The 3-on-3 ladies, I think, got defeated pretty handedly. I don't know who they picked for that. I didn't even know they had that in the Olympics till I saw it on.
It was pretty 3-on-3 is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was I talking on here? I don't think I was talking on here. Where when I was growing up, get this, guys, when I was growing up, in middle school, high school, and senior high that's what they played. What's the music in the background?
Giuseppe told me to play some background music. Are you not into it? I'm just following my fearless leader. But hey, you know what? X that.
No,
Get that out of here.
if
No.
Giuseppe said
That was a dumb idea. I don't know why I listened to Giuseppe.
I just got tired. It's raining. You had music in the background. I was just feeling sleepy.
Really to go to sleep.
When I played basketball in middle school, both junior high and senior high girls played 3-on-3 on each end of the court. So they had 6 players. 3 were always on defense and 3 were always on offense. So the defense would get the ball, they'd dribble to half court, and they'd pass it to their offensive people, and they would take it. And then when they got it, so it went back and forth, which I think would be awesome if all you had to do is play offense. I wouldn't want to be the defense only players, but I would have loved.
That's how they do lacrosse. Lacrosse works that same way. You like if you're on defense, you stay on that side of the field. If you're on offense, you stay on that side of the field. And then midfield can go back and forth.
See, I want to be. That's good. I just want to be the offensive player.
Right. I feel like that's always the struggle. Like I was when we were up at camp, we did a game with hockey, and so we were messing around later on, just some of the leaders playing, and I was thinking like, you must, if you're playing like as you're young, you must have to talk someone into being the goalie. Like who's like, oh, I want to be the goalie. You know what I mean? Same for soccer. Like, like someone's getting talked into that. It's not like they decided this is what I want to do.
Well, and especially because in soccer, there's not even that much action.
Well, and in soccer, like they're good goalies for sure, but that's a big net.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you don't save it. Like, why would you want that much pressure?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tall and lean.
Yeah.
And then everybody
no care for your body. either, 'cause they
and
just
then
throw
everybody rips
themselves.
on you. You know what I mean? Like the score can be 1-0, and they're mad at the goalie for scoring 1 instead of the team.
Well, how often
scoring.
have you heard, man, the goalie really is who did it for us?
Yeah.
But how often have you heard that the goalie ruined it? You know?
That's true. That's true. I'd rather be, if I was going to be a goalie, I think I'd rather do it in hockey.
I agree.
Yeah.
You're the same size as the goal.
Yeah.
The odds are more in your favor.
Yeah.
However, that puck is coming in quick.
Yeah, but you got,
All that gear.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nothing on the neck. Though.
even though hockey players lose a lot of teeth.
That they do. That puck. Let me
Comes
tell you,
in
playing
quick.
a little bit of hockey, I kind of get it. I see how that could happen. That puck comes flying up at your mouth at 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. I see how it could happen.
It depends on who's hitting it. Did you see gymnastics?
Yes.
I did.
We did well in gymnastics.
That we did.
And what about swimming? Have we done well in swimming?
Yes, we did at the end.
Because, see, I haven't seen a lot of gymnastics because I've been boycotting the Olympics.
Oh.
Come on.
Any reason why?
And, we haven't talked since the Olympics started. And for those of you watching, they started with a little bit of controversy. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we have a picture of it. I'm sure y'all have seen the picture where,
We can get one.
well, they had a lot of weird things. I mean, I would call it weird, and then they had the picture, I guess their own version of the picture of the Lord's Supper that was
It's actually hard to find a picture now because I don't know if you heard, but the Olympics tried to go through and take out
They took down the
everything.
video of it on YouTube.
really?
Yeah. Here's kind of a part.
This
a
is
part
kind of
it.
what you're talking about, though.
The blue dude was weird.
Yeah, what? Only the blue dude?
Well, I mean, all of it was odd.
Yeah.
But just the blue. Yeah.
Wow. Look at. I mean, that's the Olympics. That's the world gathering. You know what? When you read, like, the story of Noah's Ark, and the Bible says the world turned their back on God.
Yeah.
And you think, the world? And then you watch something like that, and you think, I guess it can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting because what a lot of people were saying, even people who are not Christian, were like, what does this have to do with anything? Yeah. Like, such an odd statement to make.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Olympics. I saw someone comparing the opener at the China Olympics with this one, and the China one felt like you're getting ready to do sports. It amps you up. It gets. I don't know what this had to do with anything.
That didn't get you hyped?
It did. It did. I was ready to run through a wall after watching that. Yeah.
It was, and of course, I saw people who weren't Christians get mad at Christians for not doing enough as Christians.
Yeah, there's no winning apparently.
No. Well, and the Bible says that Christians are going to be persecuted. I watch stuff like that and I get frustrated. And, you know, I'm joining the boycott or whatever to make a statement. But where I get really frustrated is I am a local church person. So I get really, really frustrated because I think I saw the guy that one of the designers or whatever you call it, what do you call it? Dance?
Choreographer.
The choreographer and the creatives and the Olympic. And I think, well, what if he would have been reached for Christ at the age of 13?
Right.
What if he'd have went to camp with you guys? You know what I mean? And it's so easy for people to give an expression of religiosity that has no depth to it or foundation to it. In other words, no commitment to it. Mm-hmm. Jesus said the church is the foundation that is able to kind of stand against those things, right? The church is God's idea. It's not, you know, God didn't come up with the Olympics. He came up with, you know, the government, the family, and the church. And so it's just heartbreaking to me that so many folks get upset about something like that, but they're not engaged in their local church. And had they been engaged in their local church, you could change the world, right? And I think you could even believe that the creatives that came up with that are so ignorant of Scripture and Christianity that they did it without an agenda. Now, I know Satan always has an agenda. The evil one always has an agenda. But I think that we have so drifted from God, His Word, and His church that I think it's possible that man who was probably in his 20s has spent his whole life outside of Christianity and saw that picture and thought, wouldn't it be cool if we modernized that or if we did something crazy about that without truly trying to blaspheme, even though the enemy, of course, wanted to use it to create. Yeah. And maybe, I'm not saying he didn't. I just think it's possible because people have drifted so far from the foundation, from the church. And as I told at the camp, kids, the world is never easier to change than 12-year-olds. That's why we see all this stuff going on in elementary schools, is because the enemy has realized that if he wants to drift people from God, you start when they're in elementary school.
Yeah.
Right? You start when they're young. And think about it. But how difficult is it for you guys to get parents to realize how important it is for their young people to be engaged in the church, in the student ministry, in the children's ministry, right? That's a
huge challenge.
Yeah.
Huge challenge. Yeah. No, definitely. I think that you've said it before that a lot of parents assume because they have good, morals or they believe in the church or whatever it may be, they assume their kids are the same. Yeah. Without realizing what their kids are exposed to. You know, what's funny, what camp taught me is the amount of people that were like, I can't believe they know these things or they say these things. Made it very apparent that at the end of the day, I think people are very unaware of what's actually happening and what's being said and what's being talked about within the schools. Yeah. And, it's always interesting to see adults react when they're around teenagers of, I had no idea they talked like this or they knew about these things or whatever it may be. And so it makes it very apparent that, they're being exposed to all of this. And just the idea that, well, because I believe these, I believe that the church is great. I believe that God is real. I think my kid does too. Yeah. Is really not going to stand up against all these other things that they're hearing so often from their friends and teachers and whatnot.
Yeah. I think that a lot of times as Christian parents would be amazed if they knew what their kids actually believed. And then they grow up and they design what we saw at the Olympics and everybody's surprised. And I don't know that we really should be surprised because we have not just drifted, but we have drifted from what God has created to create community, to create a sense of direction and focus, and that is His local church. So that's our sermon for today.
Come on.
That was soul session.
That was soul session before we even get to soul session. But we do have some things that we want to give a pastor's perspective of. And you know what we call that? Tea
with PT.
Yeah. All right, what do we got coming up in our world?
All right. Well, you talked about how the Olympics are happening. They're aplenty. And so I have two stories about the Olympics.
All
One,
right.
just an enjoyable story about nothing. But this one is the countries with the most Olympic medals. Who do you think is number one?
Time?
I asked that earlier. No other country is even close.
Well, never mind. You can see who's at the top. Yeah, it says it right there.
Oh, you were really asking that.
I really was, yes. But USA.
Yes, it is the USA. And you know what? There's no other country even close.
And there's actually a, what do you call it, little graph here that shows just how far. This is from 2000 to 2022. No country is even close.
Oh, that's over
Come on.
time.
Yeah, correct. Now, this is also all medals. So
Right.
not just gold medals. This is all medals.
Wow.
I thought
second?
China was over Russia, but
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty
I thought-
close.
I thought that would be always one.
Russia is not there this year.
See, Russia and China would be communist countries. Germany would have a little bit of. Is West Germany on there, or did they put West and East together? Probably.
Yeah.
They probably did. So some of that would be communist as well. So Great Britain, and then it's funny. The top one of us would be a democracy or a free country, and then you have two communist countries. And then you have the West, basically. Keep going down. Oh, it stops with Italy.
Top 10.
Oh, I guess the top 10 stops with 10.
Yeah.
look at that.
Oh. Where's the DR?
Very far.
I did see, I think that is okay, this may sound very ignorant and dumb.
It's okay.
Dominica. Is that a different place or is that's a different country? Well, they won a gold medal. They won their first, I think.
Where's that country at?
Dominica is actually an island.
That's an island.
It's the real Dominican.
Real Dominican.
So, what about, and type in there and let's see, what is the leading South American country in the medals? Huh?
Probably Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Giselle says Brazil. What do you guys think in the chat? Have you highlighted anybody yet?
I have.
America, you
Oh,
know,
okay. Where our producers, I'm just sitting here. The rain has just got me all mixed up.
Cuba.
Cuba, another communist country, and I would say that's in the Caribbean, not South America. Is Cuba considered a South American country?
You can see I did Google South America.
Cuba is not from South America.
Right.
No, they're North America.
Cuba is second position of American countries in Summer Olympics gold medal. You know what? Isn't it interesting, though, that the communist countries where they force them to train, they take them out when they're young, other than America, they're ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So I still see the South American leading country.
Yeah, here, I'm bringing it right back with the actual breakdown here.
Okay, by Latin America. So you got Cuba.
Brazil. So Brazil would
Brazil.
probably be
So Brazil is the answer.
How about that, Jess?
your-
Did you say Brazil?
What is Cuba winning all these medals in?
Oh, look,
I've got no idea.
Cuba.
I didn't even know they were.
They did, I think,
Participate.
gymnastics.
they used to be very good.
Yes,
In what?
gymnastics. Running.
Dominoes. Come on.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Jamaica. Did you see the movie The Jamaican Bobsled?
Yeah. Cool Runnings.
Yeah, that was funny.
About
Argentina.
15 years ago when that movie came out.
It just made me think of it. Has they made a movie about Jamaica since then?
I don't know.
The Jamaican Olympic, huh? Oh, Jamaica, of course, too, had the fastest man in the world.
That they did. He's
Bolt.
probably won a good chunk of those.
Yeah.
Argentina, the best Hispanics. And the only people who say that are people from Argentina.
Yeah.
Mexico, and then there's a drop off.
Yeah.
Colombia, Trinidad,
Yeah.
and Venezuela, Bahamas,
Hey, they're down there.
12. You probably know all the people who won a medal.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's doing worse than them.
Oh, wow. You know, in
And then
Puerto
I feel like, is there more?
This island is just an island of
Uruguay
losers.
is underneath that.
Oh, be careful. Puerto
Right
Rico,
there.
Puerto Rico. Just a few years ago, Puerto Rico beat us in basketball. They beat us in
Basketball's-
basketball.
Yesterday,
Well, we should have.
Puerto Rico in basketball.
not
DR did?
lost.
No, USA.
Oh, USA. Well,
Bro, Cubans are legit.
I cannot
Ain't
say
that the
you
truth,
and
Pastor
say-
Danny?
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
all right. So what else you got for us?
All right, so we've
Hold
got.
on, let me ask this question. What's your favorite Olympic sport? What's your favorite Olympic sport? Put it in the chat.
Summer Olympics? Or
Well-
are we talking in general? Winter, summer, doesn't
Summer or
matter.
Winter Olympics. What's your favorite event? And we'll ask the folks here while you guys put it in the chat.
Favorite Olympic event? Now that
Snowboarding is.
skateboarding's in it, I would probably say skateboarding. Because that's quite enjoyable to watch. Those Japanese are so good at it.
They're tiny and
I like
swift.
swift. I like the running.
Track and field.
Yeah, track and field is.
I don't like watching people run.
Swimming is.
It's not super entertaining to me. Gymnastics is intriguing. It's amazing
Yeah.
that they can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you meet a gymnast and you realize because they're little
They're
people,
tiny. Yeah.
muscular.
You know, I don't want to say it's funny because it's not funny. Like you feel for them, but it's wild when you watch the Olympics. Really, most of the sports outside of basketball, they have one chance. Like they're going to do this event, and if they don't get it, they're just out.
Yeah.
And it's wild when you just see worst possible scenario happen. You know what I mean? Just a freak
They have
thing.
to wait 4 years.
And it just the thought that like, man, they've been preparing 4 years for nothing.
But most of them compete in the world champions.
That's true.
And, all these other events, but it's not the Olympics.
Speaking of world champions. Well, actually, jumping into this question that you had asked. Cohen says boxing or track and field.
Wow, boxing. I've never watched boxing. I've not really been into
The
boxing.
United States got the most medals in
Em-
swimming this year.
Ah,
They beat the, I think it was Australia.
beach volleyball, Giselle says.
That's my second choice.
Curling. Ross says curling.
Curling is entertaining to
It's
watch.
interesting.
It
I
is
just don't
very
know.
interesting.
I can't keep score. I just have to look at it.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. But it is entertaining to watch.
I like that.
Like basketball?
Weightlifting.
Basketball, if it's competitive, you know what I mean?
That shooter from Turkey was great.
He hasn't been-
Somebody said in
No.
chat that shooter from Turkey was crazy.
Oh, I did.
I saw
Carson
that.
was telling me about the shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was wild.
He was amazing. He was
Just
amazing.
goes in there, no equipment, just this.
Ross wants a potential church Olympics. Hey, we are
pastors Olympics.
pastors. Well, we're going to have the. What kind of course did I say?
You said something about
We're going to have the office
typing
work.
a
The
17-page
pastor's
paper.
office, yes, course, and we're going to. We saw who won the driving.
Yeah.
Was it me?
It wasn't you. No, Pastor Danny won.
Pastor Danny won.
You
the
came in
driving.
second. Pastor Amber came in third.
That's right. Are you sure? I came in second.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so we're going to do the obstacle. What do you call it? Obstacle course?
Yes.
We're going to do it in the office. So this is what we're going to compete at. You have to slide in your chair. You have to type a sentence. You have to make a copy. You have to make a cup of coffee.
There you go.
You have to answer a
sounds
phone.
sick.
Have to answer a phone call. You have to lead somebody to Christ.
Oh, come on.
The pastoral office Olympics.
Protesting.
Pastor Matt says I protest.
He doesn't. He's protesting? He doesn't want to be in the.
No, I think he's saying that because he thinks he should have won.
He says you
that's
changed
right.
the rules on him.
Yeah.
I didn't know breakdancing was a Olympic sport.
You should have known. I told you that.
I mean, I didn't know until you told me that.
So we talked about that right here on Sunday Night Live. All right, what else you got up next?
All right. So next story, again, Olympic themed. This is the controversy about the boxer. I don't know if have you heard about this?
I have heard about this.
Okay.
An Olympic boxer who failed gender test. Oh, he failed it. Wins quarterfinal bout. It says who. I didn't say he or she. But anyway, but they passed it this year, though, right? Let's read the article. The Algerian boxer who failed a gender test prior to the Olympics will be guaranteed at least a bronze medal at the Summer Games after a win Saturday over the Hungarian fighter. He defeated Hungary's Anna Luca Hamori in the 66 kilogram fight. What's that weight?
141 pounds.
Do you know when I was in elementary school, they made us learn did you guys study the metric system when you were in school?
Nope.
Did you? You did?
145.
You're old
I
enough?
was almost on point.
You were close.
Carson, did you study the metric system when you were in school?
Metric system. That's like kilograms,
Centimeters, meters.
meters. Yeah. What's the other one?
He said,
Is that the army time?
no.
No, that's a totally different thing.
Gotcha.
How
No,
about
I
you?
didn't study it.
How about you guys in the chat? But there's a lot of things you didn't study.
Fair enough.
How about you guys in the chat? Did y'all study the metric system? Because they kept telling us we were going to have to learn it because we were going to go to it, and that was 40 years ago.
Well, we never,
Yeah, and
never went to it.
I still have to look up there and say 66 kilograms. How much is that?
146 pounds.
Or 32 centis Celsius.
What?
The temperature.
Centis Celsius?
Well, it's raining outside.
Oh, you're right.
Anyways, this is saddening.
Now, here's where it's confusing. This is what I've been told. Okay. It's really hard to find something on what actually happened with this person because there's an assumption that there's been transition that's happened from female to male. However, what the person claims is that has not happened. Is that it's a from birth condition where they have X chromosome and Y chromosome,
Right.
but all female attributes outside of the face.
Well,
And so this is an interesting one in this realm.
There are some folks who have what they call intersex, but
Yes.
I think if you test chromosomes and testosterone, no matter what somebody says, that is how we have,
Right.
as long as humanity's been around. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, there's a lot of things in life that aren't fair, and I think that's one of the things that, it's not fair for her to compete,
Right.
Yeah.
or him to compete, or whatever that situation is my perspective on that. Because I don't know this person's situation, so I don't know. I don't want to speak about that person's situation, but I think when it comes to the whole, idea of saying you're a man or saying you're a woman, it shows a lot more confusion than anything else. It doesn't mean that those folks aren't really confused and dealing with some things and wrestling with some things, but we are what we are, and we're only truly going to be happy the more we discover who we are, as opposed to who we want to be or who we're trying to be, or any of those kind of things. And it's, when it comes to sex or gender, when it comes to every aspect of our lives, that's the case. So
It's interesting because the way the Olympics has kind of gotten around this issue is genetic testing. That's how they do, their qualifications. I don't really know what guy, girl, but they failed the genetic testing.
right.
However, they were still allowed to compete in the bracket they said they should. That could possibly open the door to that same thing happening in the future for other scenarios, for someone who's transgender and now is competing. And when you watch the fight, it looks like a man beating
down
up a
on
woman.
woman, yeah.
Well, like you said, if they have the chromosomes, then I think you have to go with that.
Yeah.
That's what you have to go with, no matter what somebody might say or how they might even present themselves. And because you asked the question, what determines a man from a woman? And our world has gotten, again, without, the Bible says the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And there's an aspect to how sin impacts the mind. And I don't think we talk about this enough. We look at somebody do something crazy, whether it's violent or whether it's the confusion about their gender or whatever. And it's easy to forget sometimes that sin, you think, how can somebody do that? And you think the only way they can do that is that sin darkens the heart and clouds the mind. The Bible says in Romans that God gives folks over to. So when you think about, think some of the crimes you read about, you think, how could anybody do that to somebody else? How can you take off somebody's head, or how can you abuse people the way that you do? You think, well, the only way that can happen. In other words, and that's why I think sin is such a scary thing, because it's a gradual process. You don't see it happening, and it's changing your thinking, it's changing your heart, and then all of a sudden you're doing things that you hear people say all the time, right? Well, I don't know how I ever got here. And I think it's because sin has an impact on the way in which we think, which is scary.
Yeah.
And means to keep our hearts clean, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's sad we live in. I feel bad for those he defeated. You know what I mean? Fighting in the wrong category.
Yeah.
If chromosomally and testosterone, then
That thing.
could have fought in that same weight, with the males.
Yeah. We'll see what comes of it in the future.
Yeah.
If they become more lax on genetic testing and just allow people to compete in what they
Feel like
feel like they should.
I think it may be a while, but I think some of the folks, especially some of the folks who have had drastic things done and have regret,
When they start speaking up.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can already see some of that now. But on a lighter note, have you ever seen a whale take out a boat?
No.
You're about to. You are
Where
about
did
to.
this happen? New Hampshire.
Is this make it bigger? Is that what it says?
No, that's sends it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Oh, you can. That one doesn't.
Okay, so let's rewind this.
I say I missed it.
That is
Oh!
absolutely insane.
Is that real?
Yeah.
It is real. In New Hampshire.
Sure it's
Happened
not
like a
AI?
month ago.
You'll see the slowdown part. Boom.
Oh my gosh, where are the people?
You see them
Oh,
jump out right
yeah.
there.
Front of the boat.
I guess the do you think he didn't know the boat was there and he's just jumping, or do you think he's attacking the boat? Is there an article? They what?
It had happened before.
Let me read what it says. It says 2 fishermen are safe after a whale crashed onto their boat, capsizing it in New Hampshire, according to the Coast Guard. Maybe Zeke will be there next time it happens.
Maybe.
He's
Going to the West Coast now.
Oh, okay. He was a counselor at our student camp. He works for the Coast Guard, and he's afraid of rain.
Yeah.
That he is.
The incident occurred Tuesday in the state park. 2 men were thrown overboard. They were trying to keep their distance. He went under. He disappeared for a few minutes. And then the next thing we know, he just popped right up on our transom. The Coast Guard posted to X that they had received a Mayday call because of a whale breach. What happened? Let's go to Disney. Is that what that is? Oh, okay. Would you do that? Speaking of that commercial,
Would I do what?
would you do that? What do you call that?
I don't know.
When you you didn't see what was going on?
No, I didn't.
What do you
I was
say?
trying to exit out of it. That's not good.
What do you call that?
Parasailing?
Diving, parasailing.
I didn't really.
What were they doing?
They
Because
have
you're
big
just holding
kite.
the bar.
They had a big kite and they were under it. Gliding.
Hang gliding?
Hand gliding.
Hang gliding. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I remember that video where that guy, they didn't latch him in. Have you seen that video? They didn't latch
And he
him
was
in, and he's
holding
just
on
holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
I would not do it.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to do it with somebody. And here's the thing. Anytime I do something with somebody like that, I think I'm 6'4", 240 pounds. Is this made for somebody my height and my size?
See, where my mind goes is when you're younger, you assume these are experts. They know what they're doing. As you get older, you're around these people who are experts, and you realize, oh, they're just like how I'm an expert, like, but not really.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that really starts to wane your trust.
It's kind of like politicians. You assume they know more. And
Right.
then you get older and you realize, oh my gosh,
you ran for president.
Yeah.
Oh, me. So it was an accident. The whale wasn't attacking the boat. It was breaching the water.
Well, I'm sure no one really knows because we can't talk to can't interview the whale. But I think that's the assumption.
But they might get tired of boats buzzing their house.
Exactly. Exactly. Trying to take those fools out.
Yeah, it's like, what are those people doing? What are they trying to see?
Yeah.
Or maybe Captain Planet-wise, they threw out some trash. And the whale's like,
Captain Planet. What
Yes.
a deep cut reference there.
not in my house. That's what that whale said.
Yeah.
He said, you
So he
want
took out the boat.
You want to throw out some trash? I'm going to take out the whole stinking boat.
And that it did.
That it
Yeah,
did.
that it did.
It's a good thing it landed where it did, like on the back, so it just flipped over. Because if that thing landed like on the top of the boat,
I hope the whale was okay.
I don't know.
Nothing was written about the whale.
No. I'm sure he swam
I'm
off.
sure he's
That's
fine.
very environmental of you.
Well, me and Captain Planet.
You and Captain Planet. Two peas in a pod.
Earth, wind, fire, water. Something else.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Those are the elements.
There's something else. All right. We have Wordle.
We do.
Wordle.
We do have Wordle. All right. Y'all know the rules.
All right. We have never lost at Wordle. And before we get to Soul Session and wrap up this episode, we got to see if we can do it once again. So we
do
will
it.
always like to start with the chat. So we need a 3-letter word in the chat. 5-letter word in the chat. And nobody name.
Oh.
Nobody cheat. Whale.
hearing
W-H-A-L-E. All right. So that's a good one. Whale.
Well,
Having a whale of a time. Come on.
all
Bad
right.
one. Not a bad one.
So that means the W, the L, and the E are the right letters in the wrong place.
Yep.
All right. So what do you audio?
That would not be correct. There needs to be a W. Got to be cat. Chris Toro. Oh, Chris Toro said cat.
3-letter word.
We go ahead and say that's probably not it.
He's just following
What you said.
his leader's lead,
Yep.
the host lead.
All right. So we need a word with W, L, and E.
W, L, and E. Lawns.
Wally.
Tyler Feller. Lawns.
Lawns. That's a good one.
That doesn't have a W.
It does
Or
have
there's
a
no
W.
way.
No L. I mean, oh my gosh, no E.
There's also no A in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good try, Tyler. Tread. No W. Where is Sammy? Oh, you know what? I forgot.
Sleeping.
Hold it. We're about out of time, and I forgot. I got giveaways.
You do.
Time.
You do have giveaways.
I have giveaways.
Pause.
And I forgot all about it. We traveled to the big city of Detroit.
Come on.
Come on.
We spoke because I have a
Motor
book.
City.
In case you don't know, I have a book coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard.
It's called Potential, the uncontainable power of God. And you know where that uncontainable power is? Within you.
Come
all
on.
right? But anyways, we traveled and spoke at Motor City Church. And while we were there, we bought some, of course, T-shirts that we want to give away. And it's late in the game,
Late in the game.
but you got to get somebody to come join us. Maybe it'll be easier because there's only a few minutes left. But we have the motor
Made in
in
Detroit.
Detroit.
I like that.
Tough. Made in Detroit. We have this one that says, I think this is a ladies' T-shirt. Motor City, Detroit. Is that what it says? USA, Michigan. And then we have, I like this one the best. Says Detroit versus everybody. Detroit versus everybody.
You were born in Michigan.
I was born in
I don't know if people
Adrian,
know that.
Adrian, Michigan. I sure was. So what you got to do is get somebody to log on in the next like 15 minutes and say who invited them. And somebody, I'm going to up the rules since we only got 15 minutes. They cannot have ever been on the channel before.
Come on.
It's got to be somebody
Up in,
new.
Up in the stakes.
Now, and I want to show next week. You don't want to be here because you know what we're giving away next week, boys?
Tell us. Tell us.
Right here. We are giving away Bose
Wow.
Open. Let me see what is that. Ultra. This is not just any. This is Ultra. Ultra Open Earbuds. Ultra Open Earbuds. And these are awesome. I don't know if anybody has used these because I like to listen while I sleep. And these are great because they don't go in your ear, but it sounds awesome. I promise you, when you put these, and they're not giving us any money, all right? But when you put these in your ear, you will think everybody's hearing what you're hearing.
But they
Everybody, because I've got a pair, and everybody that I gave them to listen, they said, "You can't hear that?" And you're like, "No, it is incredible. They are incredible. If you want to listen and hear what's going on in the world, if you want to be in your own little world, they're not that good. But I think these are probably better for your ears."
I only like noise canceling at certain times.
Right.
Most of the time, I want to be able to hear what's going on. Because if I can't hear what's going on, my wife slaps me in the back of the head.
These are for you then. Just
happens to me as well.
Jess,
Anytime I'm playing video games.
Is there
Jessica,
phones with that?
these is what your husband needs. These are, and so we're going to give these away next week.
Go get them, Jess.
Next week,
Carly,
right? Like
come
this is
on.
like a $300 value because this channel,
Hold up.
How generous are you?
this channel is incredible.
It is.
And we had some that
It's
screwed
like
up,
none other.
and Bose sent us these. They kept their warranty,
Look at that.
and so
So kind.
we're giving those away. Next
All
week.
right.
Where were we doing?
Heading back to
Wordle.
And
Back to
Pastor
Wordle.
Danny gave a pretty good guess.
below
Don't use Pastor Danny's.
or elbow
All right.
if you rearrange.
Below.
Ooh.
They're all there, but they're not in that.
So no
so
B.
elbow.
So elbow doesn't work either. Wow.
That is incredible. Not one letter's in the right spot.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I don't think
mind-blowing.
that's ever happened before.
No.
Wow.
Lower.
Lower. All right. Who said that?
Courtney,
Courtney.
trying to make up.
For her camp experience.
Courtney.
She is the winner.
Helping us out right
Courtney
there.
helped out with which camp?
High school camp. First week.
First week. Week number 1. All right, guys. Remember, if you want to win one of these t-shirts, we're going to draw in just a few moments. This is what I wanted to talk about it's time for, are you ready?
I am.
Soul. You're not ready.
Well, last time I was hold on. Last time I was here, I did that, but you wanted me to send it to the video. So now I was ready to send it to the video. Oh man! Yeah. Hit me with the yeah.
Here we go. Soul Session.
Fun.
All right.
Soul Sessions, where we try to take just a few minutes, share a few thoughts, because the whole reason that we do this live show is just to interact. We want to be able to chat with you folks in the chat, build a sense of community, hang out. We do a podcast that comes out every Thursday at 8 a.m. We talk about life. We talk about how to reach our potential. I wrote the book Potential. We do some leadership lessons. And if you want to hear the teachings we do on the weekend, just go to Potential Church is handle, and you can find all those videos there. By the way, Tyler, producer Carson's older brother, did a great job today teaching.
That he did.
Yep.
That he
And,
did.
Very good word.
And so, anyways, I'm going to talk about this right here. Excellence. This is a cute I don't know if cute's the right word. This is a
cute little book.
This is a cute little book, yes, written by Joe. It's called Excellence, and I like it because it's just a great reminder. Excellence is something that's easy to forget. We get frustrated, we get angry, life seems unfair, and we forget to do things with excellence. And yet excellence is something God requires of us. So I want to give just a few thoughts that I jotted down as I was reading the book. So I'll take credit for this much, and then I'll give Joel this much credit. All right. But so let me give you a few thoughts about excellence. You okay?
I'm good.
The first one is this. If you and I want to have excellence in our life, the first thing we got to do is discipline in the small things.
That's good.
And what I mean is be excellent in the small things, like returning your cart from the grocery store or Walmart. What do you guys in the chat? Do y'all return your, I won't say returning your cart, but putting your cart, because most parking lots have this whole space that was built just for carts.
Except for Publix.
Publix has it every other parking lane.
So let me ask you in the chat and ask our blonde bombers here, what is, do you return it
At Walmart, yes. At Publix, if I'm in the lane.
if you're in the lane?
Yeah.
I walk it all the
Lucas?
way up to the front. I wipe it down, and I wait for someone to come up to hand it to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a mistruth.
It is.
What about in the chat? Do y'all return it? Angel says they do. Leslie says absolutely. That's impressive. Good job. Yeah. Because I think, again, what are we picking up the paper, when you see the paper, taking out the trash at home, right? Folding the whatever, putting it back, all right? All those kind of small things that it's real easy to not do, but I think disciplining ourselves in those things help us to develop the habit of excellence. And that's really what we're all trying to get, right? Because the tendency is for things to fall apart. The tendency is to not do that. And some of us maybe are more natural than others, but I think that really, even when it comes to that, it is...
I'm sorry. Excellence.
Hit the call button. But anyways, I think it's trying to discipline ourselves in the small things that we often don't think about, but can help us develop the habit of excellence. And they the small things get noticed from people. When I was in Arkansas, Little Rock, we were trying to start a church, and so I had to get another job, and I was a trainer. Did you guys know that?
I've heard.
I did.
Do you remember that, Carson?
I don't remember it, but I've heard you say it.
But I was a trainer, and I was there with other trainers, and they were a little bit younger. And they liked me, and they gave me a bunch of hours simply because I didn't just train. I cleaned the weights, and I cleaned the, what do you call it, the thing you run on?
Treadmill.
Treadmill. I cleaned the treadmill, all those kind of things, as opposed to just while we were waiting for clients, as opposed to just standing around. And those things get noticed. So excellence starts with a habit, and the habit takes discipline. The thing Joel talks about in the book, he writes a whole chapter about don't settle for good enough. And again, there's a tendency to do that, isn't there? Especially if you've had some success in your life, and so you settle for, well, that's good enough, right? We have a worship leader in the house, right, William?
Come on.
Who's good enough?
Have you ever let? Have you ever led a song that you didn't know the words to? You didn't know. Let me say it a different way. Let me say it a different way.
Hey, man,
Did you ever lead a song that you didn't learn the words to?
This week.
At camp?
Yes.
Right? Because, and I'm not saying this is Will's case. I'm sure time was of the essence. He was given the song at the very last second. He didn't have time to learn it. But
Justified.
I have seen folks learn it good enough, right? They learn the chorus, and then they look at the monitor in the back for the verses, right? And because that's a tendency for all of us, right? It's good enough. And where do we have to be most careful of good enough? In the areas that we're most gifted in. Speakers can be like this, right? That's just good enough, and because often your good enough is better than somebody else's, maybe more than enough. But you're not we're not comparing ourselves to other people when it comes to excellence. We're comparing ourselves to what is our potential, what is our capacity, right? So we want to discipline ourselves in the small things so we can develop the habits. Secondly, we want to settle for good enough. Joel also says in the book, stay focused. Another area of excellence he talks about is living life. In other words, living on purpose, and how easy it is to lose time, to drift. What do y'all lose time when it comes to your purpose? What distracts you from your potential or from your purpose? Let me tell you what distracts. I'll tell you while you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Y'all in the chat, let us know what distracts you from your purpose or from your potential. In other words, from the excellence, living life excellently. Excellent. How do you say that?
Excellently.
Yes, excellently.
Yeah, just like that.
Perfect.
For me, it's worry.
Okay.
You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
agree that is for you.
Well, because I can be off, right? And I can't enjoy being off because I'm worried about what's happening while I'm off. And then after I'm off, I get mad at myself for worrying about, so I waste time on both sides. I waste time worrying, and then I waste time worrying about worrying. And I blame my mom for that.
That's great.
How about you guys? Anything, or are you just focused all the time?
No, I think time management for me, like trying to manage what needs the most time, or what's the most, like what has priority, and then the other things.
Hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies. And they don't often, they are hobbies, but in my mind, they're not hobbies. They're my new life's mission.
Of becoming great.
Yes. It's a flaw. I'm working on it.
At our house, we had equipment from not just major sport, but almost every sport ever created that Carson at one time was all in on.
Would you like to hear something?
Yes.
At my house, we have equipment from every sport.
I have as well.
I have done as a full-on adult. So,
I have
like I
four
said, I'm working
hobbies
on
in
it.
my trunk right now. I have disc golf, my bowling ball, golf bag, and ice skates.
Oh, ice skates.
Yeah, hockey skates.
Are you a good skater?
I'm average.
I'd like to see that.
All right, let's go out. Maybe that's the next video.
There you go.
Pastors on ice.
I like that. I mean,
Let's do it.
I mean,
we have like a race.
I guess I'm still young enough.
Absolutely.
Let's do roller skates because that takes me back to my high school days.
There you go.
I'm talking about the 4-wheel type.
Right.
I'm not talking about the inline.
With the little rubber thing at the front.
Yeah, that's how you twirl.
Galaxy Skateway.
That's how you twirl.
I don't know if they're
right
still
there.
open.
I
But
think they are. They are.
What do some of the folks in the chat get distracted by? Producers, that's when you highlight it, all right? Fear of failing, Natasha says. Yeah, failure is
Impatient.
what is it? Thinking about what others, ooh, that's a good one too. Not my girlfriend. All right, let me give you this last one and we'll wrap it up. We'll end on that one, not my girlfriend. All right, so you got to discipline yourself in the small things so you can develop the habits. Don't settle for good enough. You got to stay focused on pursuing your purpose and your potential. And then I was thinking about this. If we want to do life excellently,
yeah,
You got it.
that was good enough.
okay, then I got to say it right. If we want to do life excellently, how do you say it?
Excellently.
Hold it, slow it down.
Okay, you go.
No,
One at
you
a
go,
time.
please.
No, you got it.
Excellently.
Excellently.
There you go.
All right. So
That
if we
was
want
excellent.
so if we want to do life excellently,
That was
ask. This is what I put down. Ask the question. Because I don't think sometimes we ask the question. Here's the question. What does an excellent spouse look like? You know, what does an excellent parent look like? What's an excellent boyfriend or girlfriend look like? Who was it that asked about their
Chris.
Chris, an excellent employee, an excellent employer. Because I think if we want to do life excellently,
Oh, getting closer.
And I keep going because I'm not going to settle for anything less than excellence. Amen. If we want to do life that way, we need to know what it looks like. Like, what does an excellent husband look like, or an excellent wife, or a father, or a pastor, or a hockey player, or whatever it is that you're pursuing? To take some time and jot that down and think about it, and then reflect on our life of whether or not we're actually living that out. But anyways, this is a great book. Going to get some of these. I think it'd be great for folks to read, especially in the area of ministry, because churches are so well known for not doing things with excellence. And I am so thankful for all the folks that are a part of Potential Church who do things with excellence over and over again. Very, very proud of that. All right. We have about wrapped this up. We're going to give these T-shirts away. If anybody,
Let's do it.
Have we had anybody join? Who is it?
Just one.
Just don't say that.
Look,
Thousands of people have joined.
I'm sorry. I think I misheard. Just 100 of them.
Just 100.
Yeah.
And who is one of 100?
Are you ready?
I am.
Can I get a drum roll, please? The winner is Logan, invited by Ross.
Come on.
Hi, Ross and Logan. These T-shirts are coming to you, all right?
Boom, wrinkly and all.
Hey, Harley, stop it. Don't go to the bathroom on those.
That would be something.
All right, guys. Hey, it's good to have you. Don't forget, the book is out. If you bought it, if you read it, leave a review. It does make a huge difference. I'd very much appreciate it. We're going after 100 reviews. Check out the podcast. We're going for 50,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Come on,
All
let's
right.
go.
We burst through 25. We're on our way to 50. And the podcast is every Thursday morning. And we'll be here next Sunday.
Let's do it.
Starting
we
brand.
will.
Hey, never mind, we're not. But I thought we were starting a new series, but we're not. It's a week away. But if you would like to go to the Global Leadership Summit, that's what it's called, right?
Yep.
That it is.
It's going to be awesome.
GLS.
We're hosting it here at Potential Church because we are excellent.
Come on.
We love
We're
for you
with
to be a
you.
part of it. We'll see you next week on SNL. Bye for now.